What is up, everybody? Welcome to an afternoon broadcast of the Run Your Mouth podcast. I was able to track down a real-life Canadian trucker. Actually not a trucker. I was able to track down a real-life Canadian. They're a rare breed. So first is I'll welcome you to the show. I don't know. What do you want to go by? I know you live in a dystopian nightmare up there in Canada. The cops will come to your door. They'll take you away. So what do you want to go by for the broadcast?
Oh, like you said, not a trucker, but I am a mechanic, so we can just go by like MC or something like that.
All right, we've got Mr. MC over here.
Yeah.
And Mr. MC, a listener to the Run Your Mouth podcast, he sees the way that I'm half informed on some of these issues. And so he took the time to accumulate some really great materials and give us some information from what's going on in the ground in Canada. And sadly, I'm a putz. We all know that I'm a putz. And I spent the last hour going through what he'd sent me, organizing it. And now I realize I don't have my computer cable. So this is going to be a rush job. This is now a new segment where we're going to see if we can fly through all these videos in 20 minutes, and then we're going to set up a new stream and have a longer conversation about it, perhaps. But to set up a little bit of context, firstly, I really appreciate that you took the time and put together everything that you sent over my way.
Yeah,
At first, I was actually annoyed, where I was like, why the fuck is this guy giving me so much homework? He's supposed to be a guest on my show, and why do I have to go watch all these materials? But then when I saw the treasure trove, I was like, holy shit, there's some good stuff in here.
You managed to get through 8 minutes.
Yeah. So before we dig in, I'm curious, where did the passion come from? Like, where are you getting most of this stuff? Is this some footage from your camera or just things that you've seen online? Because you did a pretty good job here of organizing this stuff.
This has just been a combination of, for the most part, Twitter, definitely a few different reporters, whether on Twitter or other platforms. This is one of the most inspiring thing about this is they can't hide it. There's hundreds of YouTube live streams of everything that's going on constantly. They can spin what they want, but I guess, like you said, I think it's kind of funny. I think probably the first moment that really got me skeptical about some of the COVID stuff was actually on the Real Ass podcast in it was something like January when all the videos of people just collapsing in China were showing up, and Zach he had told to bring up a compilation with music behind it of all the people just completely dropping dead, seemingly, or just passing out in random places. It's something that we obviously haven't seen anywhere else in the world. So, like, in retrospect, just there's been writing on the wall every single point of the way through this, and basically just like I've had a lot of sympathy for Australia for most of this because they've beyond had the worst of measures, et cetera, whatever. But Canada is certainly challenging them for at least
for most dystopian.
Especially, I mean, Australia has opened up a lot. Like, obviously, if you're unvaccinated, it's going to be tough in a lot of places. But most people knew that pretty much from before, or no, it was a little bit after Christmas to most of the, like, it was, I believe, potentially this Monday, that even if you were vaccinated, you lost all the privileges that you got from being vaccinated in Ontario, at least.
Oh, wow. This video feed is going to go out long before we get into a single one of these videos.
Okay.
Why don't we just play a few of these and
Sure.
then we can continue the chat on the other side. So the first one I'm going to play for everybody. And also it does sound like you're talking in a tunnel, but yeah. I assume that's the only way that people in Canada can, they got to go into tunnels just so they can get some internet connection. So the first is everyone's trying to paint that the truckers have been violent or otherwise. Let's hear what a cop on the ground had to say about the situation.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm down here with a police officer in Ottawa. How are you doing today?
Doing great.
How's it been down here?
Nothing but good. People are super good. The truckers have been having a good time. They've been getting their point across. And you know what? It's a beautiful city that we're in, and they can't ignore all of this.
All right. So there we go. It doesn't seem like the cops are dealing with a bunch of violent racists. This video we're going to come back to because that one's going to be easy for me to refind.
Yeah.
But this was a good showcasing of the world leaders in Canada. I believe maybe this is your version of Fauci.
No, this is for specifically Ontario, but they're one of the major holdouts at this point. They were the ones who, after a number of provinces have already walked back, just basically came out and said, we don't plan on changing a thing. And then quite shortly after, here you are.
All right, let's play it.
I don't know why I bring all these papers. I never look at them.
Oh, when you're giving numbers, I do. I go, oh. I said that. Did you really do that?
I just say whatever they write down for me.
That's why you're guessing.
There you go. Admitting to being a TV actor. You put the information in front of me. I'll just say it. And let's not forget that hot mics might have brought down the COVID regime in the UK, as it was the hot mic from the lady in Parliament that exposed the fact that they were throwing those parties and didn't quite care. And if you want to know about the world leaders not caring, here's another gem that you sent our way about Trudeau and how much he truly cares about the environment. Let's give this a quick watch.
You and your family do to cut back on plastics?
We have recently switched to drinking water bottles out of water out of when we have water bottles out of a plastic, away from plastic towards paper, like drink box water bottles, sort of things.
What in heaven's name are you talking about?
All right, this is going to be a fly through. We're going to fly through everything I had here, and then we're going to continue the conversation on a new stream. Now, they were trying to say that this was fringe, right? That these were random racists out in Canada. And so let's take a look at some of the evidence of the widespread support that exists. This first is a clip of kids that left messages to truckers.
I'm from Alberta, and I just want to say, you guys are awesome. Keep on trucking.
Good night, truckers. Thank you. To Santa Canada, truckers.
I got a little guy here that wants to say something to the truckers.
All right. And to showcase more of the widespread support, here's people from the entire town doing their part to try and get truckers fuel.
Not quite. This was when they were told they were not allowed to resupply. Anyone who was caught resupplying, giving resources at all, would be arrested. This is people showing up with empty cans to say fuck you.
But there you go. But it's the widespread support.
Absolutely.
That you can see
Absolutely.
how many individuals are here. And these are not truckers. These are just,
No.
Joe Schmoes out in khaki pants.
Thousands of people are showing up every weekend.
And here we can showcase a couple more of these videos of the Fuel Rebellion. That might have been the same one. Hold on. That's that's the same.
This one is. It's a short one.
You guys want Kool-Aid?
I think it was to the left, the tab to the left that you had.
And then, here you can just see how many individuals are actually out in the streets supporting the truckers, getting involved in the movement. And then this last one showcases diverse voices coming out to learn about what the movement's about and realizing, hey, I kind of support this. Let's give this one a listen as well.
Downtown called Sungi Fitness. My business has not been interrupted by any of what's been going on with the protest. I am in full support of the protest because I've actually taken the time to come down and speak to these people, get to know them, get to know why they're here, and hear their stories, which is what a lot of people aren't doing. I believe that most people that are just spewing out hate and all this ugly language towards these truckers, those are the people who are staying at home and not making the effort to come downtown and talk to these people.
There you go. You just got to get to know them. You get to know them. You realize these are good people. They're here for freedom. And then we're going to watch 2 more videos quickly. And then everyone just give me 10 minutes. We'll have a new stream up on a different computer.
And I'll just say one thing for that last video. He then later discusses how he brings his mother down, who has only been watching the news and whose opinion completely changed. Surprise, surprise, by actually talking to some of them.
Isn't that amazing? If you just see something firsthand, you're just like, oh, that was a lie. What they told me was a lie. Kind of like you discovered by actually getting COVID. If you're a healthy individual, you're probably not going to die of it. You most likely will be survive. You know what I mean? It's like amazing how the second you have any firsthand,
it's just undeniable.